Hey everyone, welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness, New York by Night. Um, let's just get this kicking right off, shall we? Koschei gets a text from an unknown number just saying, come and meet me at the funeral parlor. And then there's a address under there because I don't think Koschei's ever been there.
Text from an unknown number. Look at it. Look around the Anarchy haven. Look at the solitaire game he's probably played 50 times tonight. Nah, fuck it. Time to do something interesting. Get up, throw on a nice funeral home appropriate outfit, put on his sunglasses, and go.
Okay. So you're at the funeral parlor. It's a relatively nice looking funeral parlor from the outside. The graveyard isn't, here. It's probably somewhere else. Because vampires aren't that damn tacky to have fucking Elysiums at a goddamn graveyard.
Giovanni are.
Yeah, they're pretty tacky. So as you walk up to the funeral parlor, you are confronted by two large brown doors.
Well, Koschei didn't leave his manners at home, so he's going to raise his hand and just,
As you knock, you actually push the door open a little bit, revealing that pretty much all the lights are on, but there's no one really inside. What you do see, however, is a really nice-looking room where funeral services would be held. There's a few pews. There's 2 rows of them, about 5 or 6 pews for each row. There's all sorts of really beautiful, elegant-looking, and smelling flowers that are lining the walls on both sides. Pretty much all 4 of the walls as you walk in. You are treated to the sound of smooth jazz as well as you're walking in here. As you're walking forward, you'll actually notice there's all kinds of different religious books here. Firstly, you find the Bible, which is pretty fucking standard. Then you find a Torah, still pretty standard. A Quran. Hey, that's surprising for Manhattan. Then, unless you have like academics or a cult, there's all kinds of weird shit yeah. Some of that shit's kind of, wait, what the fuck? You have to double take real quick because you thought you saw a Necronomicon, but like it probably wasn't the Necronomicon.
Gonna go ahead and pull that book off the shelf.
Okay. So as you open that up and read it, it is not bound in human skin, unfortunately.
My medicine score confirms I'm slightly disappointed.
But it is in a language that you really don't understand. You can tell the book is very, very old. Does Koschei have an academic score?
Yes, I have academics too.
Okay. This is not a modern book by any means. It probably was actually scribed rather than like printed, if you know what I mean.
Okay, I know this, but I don't know if Koschei knows this because of the academic score. I want to look for who the scribe is, what their little signature is that they draw into the text.
Okay. Unless you understand really ancient, like Iranian, you're not getting a hell of a lot, but you do see like a signature at least.
So sort of flip through it a little bit idly, then shut it. and placed it back on the shelf, making sure to keep the shelf still in perfect order. If those books aren't perfectly parallel to the wall, that'll be a bit of a problem. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And go head towards that other room.
Okay. Oh, just saying, this is all kind of just one room at this point.
Okay.
And after a couple of minutes, you hear that distinct coughing noise, that very violent coughing noise. Like a motherfucker's got tuberculosis up in here. Eventually, it does kind of calm down as the back door of this services room opens, and yes, you are greeted by the prince, who looks pretty much exactly like the actor that plays Grey Worm in Game of Thrones. And I don't think you get that because you don't watch Game of Thrones. Watch Game of Thrones.
Faulty Google machine.
Wait, what?
No, out of character. I was Googling him.
Oh, okay. Just look up Jacob Anderson, I think his name is.
Nice. Okay, Koschei will turn to face the prince. Wasn't expecting to be seeing him, but he'll give him a nod. Evening.
Evening.
So, funeral home. It's an interesting meeting place.
Yes, this is where I typically hold my office hours. From what I understand, this is actually very stereotypical now.
Nothing wrong with a little stereotype now and again.
So I'm assuming that you've heard about, well, the developments as of late.
Yes. I recently sent them all to your office specifically. Was rather surprised I had to inform them that it was necessary to listen to your orders. Requests, rather. Rug.
Yeah, yes. They're still young, and, well, you know.
That's true. Nothing quite like the character of a young anarch. So, what was it that you wanted to talk about?
Well, someone brought up a very interesting note during the business from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You, Anarchy, you guys have your own way of doing things, and I respect that, but here on our side, we do have a system of favors, and, well, it acts as a bit of a currency for us.
I understand the boon system.
Yes, of course. Now, while I understand that, while you all don't particularly like or respect the system, we are all here together, and therefore we do need to find a way to make things work. Otherwise, our harpies and our offended subjects will see fit to, well, life would be a lot harder on both sides.
I understand.
So, were it up to me, I would just say that anarchs are still in the boon system by virtue of being in the city, but I'm far more diplomatic than that. Willing to see compromise in this matter.
Shai smiles a bit at the word compromise. I have a suggestion that I could make, though of course I would have to go speak to the others before making it official. We're a democracy.
Okay. I don't know. What is it they say? Shoot?
Well, the Camarilla operates under a system of boons, and I'd understand that they would have owed the members of your society a fairly significant one in return for not protecting the masquerade to their fullest ability, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we are anarchs. Many of us are ex-Camarilla. Many of us don't even like the notion of being considered a subsect of the Camarilla. Therefore, enforcing boons on each individual anarch would, well, you ever attempted to convince a mule to go outside and take a bath when it doesn't want to?
The answer to that may surprise you.
Oh. Well, understandably, attempting to enforce Camarilla policies on a group of anarchs would be met with little but resistance or something less fortunate, such as direct attempts to go against your sex request, thus weakening our unit as a whole against our enemies in the Sabbat. So, as their leader and their appointed Camarilla liaison, perhaps it may be more reasonable to request boons from the anarch community as a whole through myself. And in using that boon system, I could, rather than simply assigning some random anarch who messed up at some point, could choose a member of our community most suited for the job that you need done. Think of it like international trade agreements.
So if a Camarilla member wants a boon from a certain anarch, they would have to go directly to you, essentially?
Yes. Rather than being from a certain anarch, it would be from our community as a whole. So say if it were Spike, who perhaps owed the sheriff something, and the sheriff wished to cash in that boon to the anarch community, he could ask us for a favor. Now, there's no guarantee that Spike would be the one carrying out the favor, but I would ensure that it was delegated to the anarch of greatest capability for the task.
This is going to be quite a bit of organizing, if it happens. You say you still have to go and talk to your fellows.
Of course, I'd not make a decision without their consultation.
My first recommendation, if this were to pass, would be keep in close contact with the Harpies, because you will be very busy.
I understand.
But if that is, quite frankly, if the boons are being paid, I don't particularly care in what way or who does them. This sounds agreeable to me. It would probably soothe a lot of the minds of the Camarilla members in the city, as well as quite a few Anarch members of the city.
Indeed. I'd like to keep our agreement working without giving my associates the impression of being cannibalized by the Camarilla, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm. today is very productive, or tonight is very productive.
As it should be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
As it should be.
So, if I think that's all I needed to talk to you about, do you have anything for me?
Not in particular, unless you have any dossiers or something to give me on the current activity against the Sabbat. Perhaps I could start moving us in a cohesive direction.
I assume you've already gotten... I assume you already have Spike's information on the whole thing?
Yes, I've gotten most of it.
He's an ambitious one, he is.
We all kind of are.
Well, it's been a long time since I've seen an Anarch walk into a prince's office and demand a boon from a Tremere to get to supply information. Forgive me, it was a bit of nostalgia on my part.
Nostalgia? For what exactly?
If I were younger, I just would have read his mind, but I'm a lot smarter than that now. But either way, it's not good for a prince to get wrapped up in nostalgia and sentimentality. I will take my leave for the night. I have other business I need to take care of. You have that number. It can be used to reach me.
All right, then. Anything in particular I should save the contact as? Surely you wouldn't want it to be your real name.
Oh. Put down whatever you like. Including whatever you like. You can literally write down whatever you like.
Understood. Going to save the contact as whatever you like.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I suppose I'll see you another time. I'll shoot you a message to see if this deal goes through.
Very well.
Koschei is going to hold out a hand.
Which Myles will take and shake.
Give him a firm handshake and a smile. And he will leave.
And I suppose we can end our scene there. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you again soon.